After the FBI announced their decision, the outrage and the disbelief began pouring in.
No reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case.
It would be unreasonable for a prosecutor not to go forward with it, and almost an abdication of duty.
They just set a precedent for mishandling information. Now anyone can do it.
Why have a server that is not a part of the State Department, therefore the government record, if you are not intending to traffic in secrecy?
There is evidence that they were extremely careless in their handling of very sensitive, highly classified information.
The minute you say someone is extremely careless, you are saying they're grossly negligent.
Clinton's above the law, and if you ever thought so, now you can absolutely agree with that.
This is the special exception for the Clintons.
She wasn't cleared. She just wasn't charged.
The On the Record political panel is here to hash this all out from the Wall Street Journal, Shelby Holliday, and from the National Review, DeRoy Murdoch. Thank you both for being here. Wow, what a political and news day indeed. DeRoy, I'll begin with you, kind of get your thoughts and kind of the information that's been coming in, the reaction to this kind of stunning news. No one was expecting that we would get that kind of message today, this early, with the campaign still going on.
Absolutely. Look, there are 4 words above the entrance to the Supreme Court that are a core tenet of this American republic, and that is equal justice under law. I think you put a line right through equal at this point. If Hillary Smith had not 1 or 2, but multiple servers with classified data on them, Hillary Smith would be prosecuted. If Hillary Jones had 2,110 classified emails, including some that were top secret, after saying that she didn't have any, and in fact they were there being trafficked back and forth, Hillary Jones would be indicted. Instead, Hillary's last name is Clinton, and so she gets away with it.
Wow, unbelievable. Shelby, what's your take when you talk? And by the way, listening to Director Comey speak eloquently, laying out what many of us thought was going to be the case for a recommendation, and then kind of an about-face right at the end.
Right. He laid out a laundry list of what Clinton did wrong. He delivered a scathing critique of her job performance as Secretary of State. But then he went on to say he's not recommending charges. Well, I thought the point you bring up is very important. It makes her look like she's above the law. That helps Donald Trump. Donald Trump's already fundraising off of the news today, saying the system is rigged, help me fight it, help me get into Washington and eliminate the corruption. But it also really hurts Clinton down the road because of the honesty and trustworthy issues. He just essentially laid out all the reasons why she has been lying. She didn't turn over all the emails like she said she did. She didn't set up the server for convenience sake. Instead, she actually had multiple servers, used multiple devices. And, you know, at the core of this, as she said, she did not send or receive classified information. In fact, there were more than 100 emails with classified information.
And DeRoy, you know, Rush just pointed out in that soundbite that we had, he said, why would she set all this up, like Shelby is saying, and traffic in secrecy? That seems to be even right there, the intention to deceive and to not be transparent, to keep information.
Correct.
That's what people are writing in.
She said early on, look, this is for convenience because I needed to help President Obama with foreign policy. In which case you could say, listen, I got to go work on some treaty negotiations. You guys give me an email address and I'll just use whatever the standard system is. Instead, she literally got somebody to set up these multiple servers, paid somebody, I think it was $140,000 out of her personal pocket to run this stuff, and not one server. We now hear multiple servers, and then take them out and strip them and so on. This is not a matter of convenience. This is a matter of hiding from FOIA requests, from the Federal Records Act and all that sort of thing. I think there was definitely an intention to be opaque and to hide things from the American people.
And then the follow-up question then, Shelby, is because she knew she would run for president?
Well, you have to assume that that was a factor in this, and she said she didn't want the personal being available. We can only assume what that personal is. It could be much worse than reality, but that does leave a lot to the imagination. Whether or not she thought that this would come to light, you have to think she thought she would get away with this, especially if she was running for president. You would do everything by the book if you knew you were running for the highest office in the country and voters were going to judge you by that.
Some of the Trump supporters, DeRoy, real quick, say, hey, listen, this is actually helpful to Donald Trump. He doesn't have to run against Joe Biden.
Well, that's obvious.
In that respect, I guess that is helpful. But it also helps Trump's whole idea that this is a rigged system, and it underlines that. I also say that Hillary may still be on the hook as far as the issue of public corruption. Was the Clinton Foundation really a giant bribe pump? Money in, favors out. We didn't hear anything about that. That may still come
ongoing
down the pike.
investigation on that. And maybe she's going to try, Shelby, and get some, or he's going to try and get some of the Bernie Sanders supporters by saying the system is rigged.
He's definitely trying to do that.